Hi, and welcome back to the Take 5 Challenge. I am here once again at CAMS hanging out and talking to some folks. So excited to have this next guest on with me from the city of Modesto, Kelli Arkanian. Can't wait for you to meet her. It's a first time meeting her, first time being able to chat. Again, this is the Take 5 Challenge, and what we're about is really taking the opportunity to connect with other professionals, right? I truly believe that as iron sharpens iron, we make each other better. And that's what we try and do, and what we try and model the Take 5 Challenge through this podcast, right? We want to thank CPRS and the Push to Play Network for producing this and getting this out for us and just sharing this information with everybody. But I'm going to be right back with Kelli, and hope we all get something. Hope we learn. Thanks. Hi, and welcome back. I am Henry Prezalonzo, again here with you at the Take 5 Challenge. Excited to have my guest here. Who do I have with me?
I'm Kelli Arkelian.
And Kelli is from?
City of Modesto.
So thank you, Kelli, for coming. We're going to take 5 a little bit. And I was excited to talk to you because this is what I'm calling the Take 5 CAMS edition, because I'm catching some people at CAMS.
Yeah.
And just chatting. But Take 5, again, is just for us professionals to kind of get to know each other, kind of have that opportunity to sharpen and learn. And I learned something about you kind of just chatting recently. So you are someone who has been at, would you say, one agency your whole career?
Yes.
Okay.
One Parks and Rec agency. Yes. I had another career in the middle, but I've always been with City of Modesto Parks and Rec.
So City of Modesto. And what have you done in the City of Modesto?
Well, currently I run our aquatics program,
Right.
but I started as a lifeguard and swim instructor when I was 16.
I love
We don't have to name the year, but yes.
No, that's okay. No one's asking. You know, sometimes for me, the gray hair gives it away. But yeah, we're not asking that. But I think that's kind of interesting. I think that's fun.
Yeah.
That's a fun thing to think about is, so you were 16, you were a lifeguard at these pools that you now run.
Correct.
Right? So do you even remember back then? Like
what
it
do.
was that kind of sparked your interest?
Well, I've been a swimmer. I've swam competitively from 5 all the way up through college. And my love of water and teaching kids to swim. My mom got me into swim because she never learned how to swim. And we hear this a lot, like parents don't know how to swim, their kids don't know how to swim. And so I went against that statistic, especially in my community. And it was a really cool summer job. And I hear the same thing from my staff as when I was like, oh, you get to tan, you get to be on a pool deck. But it's so much more than that with the teaching swim lessons and running events and our water safety program. It's just kind of evolved.
It isn't easy. Actually, one of my 2 daughters, one works at the camps and one does aquatics. So it's kind of fun to see them both in it, but recognizing how hard it truly is.
Oh yeah.
To be a lifeguard, to be someone who sits there. It isn't sun tanning and all that. Yes, you get a great tan, and sometimes you get a really awful tan because of your,
the tan lines that never go away. Yeah. It'll be January or February, and you'll still have tan lines from summer. Yeah.
So there is consequences to what's going on there. But at what point did you see that this might even be a career for you? Do you even remember when that was?
I think I'm a visionary. I like to expand. I take what I have and then it's like, okay, how can I grow this? How can I make it better? And I think as I just grew up and I went from lifeguard to then pool manager, it was just kind of like a natural progression. And I've been there long enough to see kind of the ebbs and flows of like staffing levels and then building a team up and then budget cuts and you're back down to just one pool instead of multiple. So I think just that's been my challenge and my fire is continuing to grow, especially with our budget cuts and everything kind of shrinking. And then COVID, it shrunk again. But yeah.
So how do you saw that this vision of your career. So you've been in your career for a little while now. What makes it fun for you? What makes it, lively? What keeps you going?
Honestly, it's probably working with our young professionals and kind of molding them. I look at them as lifeguards and swim instructors and recreation leaders, but they're also like young adults. And so my challenge for them is, okay, I get you at your baseline, and then how can I grow you for your future career? And we've had staff go on and do amazing things. Some of them we can't talk about because of security clearances, but like they've just gone on to be such amazing humans. And I think that's what excites me. And I love getting on the pool deck and teaching lifeguard classes. It's just, that's my passion, is like teaching people to be better humans and how that interacts with aquatics. Like, we're very scientific. We do the personality test and we build teams of staff based on strengths and weaknesses. And when we do our swim lessons, it's very targeted and very specific of who we pair with who. just to kind of serve everybody.
Did you start that, or did someone else kind of?
No, that's me. That's me trying to understand. That's me trying to understand my teenage staff, because it's a totally different generation and era. And I don't think that I'm that old. Oh, sorry, there's my phone there. Okay. But like, as they're like, oh, how long have you been a lifeguard? And then you insert blank number of years here. That's longer than I've been alive. And it's like, yes, thank you. So just trying to connect with them, giving them new information that they may not know. Like, to them, when you physically look at them, they're all the same. They're all wearing red lifeguard suits. They're all wearing black or yellow shirts, and they're the same. But how can we bring each and a unique piece of everybody to make our program stronger? Because they are a representation of our program. And I mean, I'm not the face of it. They're the face of it. So I just like to challenge them to be better.
No, I love that. But then there was like, what is the test that you give them?
It's a personalities. It's the Briggs-Meyer personalities test. Yeah, we do it at one of our staff meetings, and they have the option to share if they want to. Some of them think it's cool because I do heavily believe you're influenced by your environment. Right. So my Briggs-Meyer test has changed over the course of years and working with young professionals. And I think they've kind of seen theirs change. You get lifeguards at 15, 16. Right. They leave you when they're graduating college. And that is a big gap. They're so impressionable in those years. So it is interesting to get some of those senior staff who maybe started as one and then have changed as they're leaving into their next phase of life. And I do have staff right now that think that they want to do what I do. So that's pretty cool. Like, they see recreation as a career. Yeah.
That is like, because I know that every summer I'll go talk to the lifeguards, or I'll talk to the camp staff, and I'll say, hey, just so you know, this may be my 30-something summer, but this is a career. This is actually can be a job. But then at the same note, just like you said earlier, there's so many people that go on from working at our pools to becoming more. And I can't say more or more important, because what we do is absolutely 100% important. It's just different. They're different jobs, right? You know, whether they have security clearances, which I love, or whether they're doctors, nurses, you know, in the medical profession. We've heard that, you know, I've heard lawyers, everything. We've got every profession that has started as a lifeguard on somebody's pool deck at somebody's community that now is serving the community in a completely different way. And knows that, you know, what's fun is that we know that they got a great start, right?
Yes.
We know that they got
We're giving them the foundation blocks that hopefully they can improve upon as they get older and they get more experiences. And
And I love that. And I love the fact that all of a sudden you said, you know what I need to do? We need personality tests. I need to know what these people are like.
Well, because like you see them at a surface level, but it's like, okay, I need you guys to interact together and make the best team. We're very much team oriented in our organization. And so it's you have your strengths and weaknesses. Who can I find that will balance you out or make you even stronger? Yeah.
And I love that. So tell me a little bit, so that, you know, for the 6 people that are watching this right now, if I wanted to do that in my agency, like, how would I even get started? Like, how do I know go take the test, but then how do I use that?
So what we do is we don't make it, they don't have to share if they don't want to. Some are excited. They realize at the end of the test, it tells you like what famous people are also your same type. And they get really excited about that. But it's basically also it's just getting to know them, having conversations with them at a personal level, and just finding out what gets them their brain ticking and such. But you just take the test, and then we collect the results, and then we hope to pair people with their not complete opposites with like mind, so it's kind of a science. It's a big giant puzzle.
It is. So like, if I wanted to bring that to me, I'd have to bring, you know, a puzzle key. You know,
to decipher like what, and it does take some research to figure out like what personality types. And I think this kind of goes into like conversation style and conflict management, but just kind of figuring out like who I am and then who they are and how we can interact together.
So is it a team of 4, team of 10? Like,
they do it all individually. When we teach swim lessons, we're teams of 2 in the water, but you might have 14 teams in the water at the same time.
So when you're teaching, when you pair them up based on their personality test, how do you do it for the 2s?
For the 2s, yep. Okay. So trying to get the best swim lesson and understanding that kids don't respond to everybody the same way. So we try to give them a little bit of everything, and we try to have, I call them the peanut butter and jelly. I don't like A and B. Okay. I don't like the person who has to be the 2s. So we're peanut butter and jelly when we teach some lessons, and we try to make that perfect sandwich.
So what would a peanut butter look like, and what would a jelly look like?
Well, I'm pretty loud on the pool deck. We have a 50-meter pool, and you can hear me all the way across. And so we have some staff that are loud and they're fun and they're engaging. But for some of our shyer swimmers, that might be too intimidating. So we pair them with somebody who's a little bit more soft-spoken, or if there's somebody who's a little bit more stern or sharp in their delivery, we pair them with a more bubbly and outgoing and expressive person. So
So is that something that comes through? I know it's through knowing your staff, but then is there anything through the interview process that you do?
We have, yes, we have changed our interview questions. We used to just ask like the basic lifeguarding aquatics questions. And it's like, you know what, I can put you in the water and I can go through some of our American Red Cross training skills and I can know if you're going to be a good lifeguard or not. We're really asking questions like critical thinking questions about kind of like their ethics and their morals, just to try to find the human in them, kind of separate them from their job. But we want to have good humans first. And then my philosophy is you have a good human, you can mold them to a good lifeguard.
And you've had many good lifeguards.
Yes, we've had quite a few good lifeguards. Even lifeguards that I worked with have gone on to great and beautiful things. Yeah.
I think this is awesome. I'm thankful that I got a chance to just chat with you
about this. Exactly. Thanks for having me.
Well, because my brain right now is going, it's like, well, how do I do this at work now? So, we'll be in touch.
Well, you get to a point where like, okay, you have your one pool and your 10 lifeguards, and then you have your 2 pools, and maybe you go to like 30 lifeguards because you need all those subs for vacations. And then we grew to, we're getting ready to open our 6th pool. Wow. And so we're looking at like 150. So I think these solutions have stemmed from problems with a lot of like conflict, and we've just been able to work through that with a fun exercise that is enlightening for me and for them.
I love that. And if someone wanted to get a hold of you, where would they get a hold of you and how?
Probably email. So I have a paper trail, but my email is my first initial and last name at modestogov.com.
Cool. Excellent. I thank you so much. And as I do with most guests, I ask you if you were willing to take up the challenge. It's a Take 5 challenge. So if I paired you with someone to, just take 5 minutes a month and connect with them to, sharpen each other, would you be up for that?
I would, but is it limited to 5 minutes? Because I'm very passionate. I get going and 5 minutes might turn into 25 minutes.
See, that's the beauty of Take 5. I just say take 5. How you choose to do those 5? It could be in 5-minute increments that lead up to an hour, which is fine.
I mean, that could be a 5-minute voicemail. That's very easy for me. Yeah.
And I do appreciate that. So I'm glad to hear that as well. Which is really cool. So thank you so much again for hanging out.
Thanks for having me.
Love this. Have so much in my mind right now. I'll be back with my final thoughts. And I just want to say, go Take 5. Be right back. And I'm back with some final thoughts of just hanging out with Kelli. I'm telling you right now, that kid was a thinker, was thinking ahead and kind of a trailblazer for me right now. It's like, who thought of using personality exams for your lifeguards to make sure that you have the right teams put together? I love that. And maybe you've already thought about that. So, forgive me if I kind of missed that, but for me, that was new, and trying to figure out how to implement that and how to make that work. I think the important part of that and the takeaway for me was that get to know your staff, right? Understand who they are and how you can connect with them so that you can best put them in a position to succeed, right? Whether it be someone who is more outgoing versus someone who is a little bit more introvert. How do you pair them to bring out the strengths in both of them and how that works? And knowing, that to have a plan and to make sure that this happens. And as you can see, success breeds success, through Kelli's experience with this personality test and through how they change their interview process is something that has breeded success for them to be able to gain more and more lifeguards to staff their, 6 pools, something along those lines. But it's something to think about, something to hold on to for all of us to recognize. Really, it's important for us to know, who are we working with? Who do we have on the team? And how do we make this team stronger? So I really just appreciate her time. As always, you can reach me through Instagram at the Take 5 Challenge, Take5_challenge. Throw me a message. Let me know who you want me to speak to, what kind of topic you want to talk about. But that's where you can get a hold of me. As always, we thank CPRS and the Push to Play Network for putting this on together for us. So we just want to thank you. And again, I challenge you to go Take 5 with someone, get yourself sharper, and enjoy. Catch you next time.